When you're a kid, making friends seems to come easy, but the older you get, the harder it seems to get. If you find yourself experiencing this firsthand, listen up. Karen Donaldson is here to help. She's got answers for us. Why is it harder to make friends as adults?
Here's the reality. We are creatures of habit. And over time, we have these patterns that become ingrained in us, and we don't want to stray from them. And the other thing is, as we get older, we're a lot more clear on what we like, what we don't like, what we will tolerate, and we're very serious about setting healthy boundaries. However, we have to open up a little bit if we want to deepen relationships or create new friendships with other people. You know, and as adults, the last piece is, over time, we become more subconscious than we were in high school and in college and university. So those are some pieces as to why it's a bit harder.
Yeah, we start to get really set in our ways, right? Okay, so what's the shift we need to make to start making friends? That's the question I'm going to ask you. But first, I just want to go out to the audience for a second, because we've got a friend group here of moms. We've got Natalie and Karen, who have been friends for the last 10 years. So I want to ask you to, like, how did you meet as friends? How did you meet as grown-ups?
We all met at our kids' school, and some of them, like Jamie here, was really good at names and numbers and setting up WhatsApp groups. We set up end of school parties.
Yeah, first day of school parties, last day of school parties. Just an excuse to get together and celebrate, you know, the kids growing up. And
I love to see it. I love to see it, ladies. And I like to hear that there's someone in the group that's the organizer, because that's what you need. You need someone who's going to make the plans and take the names and take the numbers and say, this is what's next. So they did it. They made that shift even as adults to get together. What do we need to do to make that shift, Karen?
You know, here's the first thing. We have to make the decision that we want it to be a priority. So we can't say, you know what, I need to make more friends, Tracy, but every afternoon, evening, and weekends when people are inviting me out, I'm at home.
Right. You have to leave your house.
Listen to me.
Probably.
Make it a priority. The other big piece is this. You have to be vulnerable, right? And as we get older, it's harder to be vulnerable because we have so many insecurities that we want to hide behind. And the reality, the other piece is this. When I say being vulnerable, when you're making new friends, it's not about talking up things that you think the other person will like. It's about being yourself. So at least when we connect, if I say, you know, I like big jewelry, I'm being honest. You know, if I'm only liking what you like because you like it, then it's not a real friendship. We just spend years, weeks, just faking a friendship, and that's not what you want with people.
That's brutal. You don't need to fake anything in your life. It's a terrible way to live. So let's talk a little bit about judgment, because that's something that we hone our skills on, being judgy as well. So we probably have to shift our feelings in that regard as well.
Yeah, when it comes to judgment, it's a two-way street. The first piece I always tell people, my clients, is you have to redefine judgment. And what I mean is this. You have to realize that in any situation, although we're taught we shouldn't, we get judged. Tracy, when we walk in a room, we're judged even before we open our mouths. So what I say is this. Know going in that you're going to be judged, but be judged for yourself. So if you walk in a certain way, if you carry a certain thing, just be yourself so you can be liked for yourself. Now, on the flip side, we have to stop being so judgy, right? People have different experiences, and because we're older and we have these little bit of barriers up, you might look at someone and say, oh my goodness, she has so many tattoos. Oh, tattoo. What does that mean? We add so much meaning to that. We have to be open and vulnerable and be willing to meet new people in a different way.
I like that you say show up as yourself, because you're showing up yourself as to either be liked or disliked. But either way, be yourself.
You got it.
If they dislike you, that's okay. On to the next, because you have to be who you are, and you're not for everyone, right?
Not at all.
Give us some tangible ways to actually get out there and make new friends.
Absolutely. Really good question, and I have a lot of ways for you to do so. One of the first ways to do so is you have to look at, or you can reassess your current relationships. So, you know, for some people, we have different circles. We have a casual circle of friends, a close circle of friends. Look at the casual connections that you have and see, is there anyone there that I'd like to deepen a relationship with?
Bump them up.
You got it. Bump them up. You already know them. It won't be as hard because you can pick up the phone, you can have a tea, you can have a coffee. That's one way. The other way I really love We call it blind friendship dating.
Okay.
And it's similar to a blind date. And it looks like this, and I'll give you my example in a moment. So you ask a good friend of yours who you value their opinion, and you might say something like this: Tracy, you know what, I'm trying to expand my friend circle. Is there anyone you know who likes desserts, like me?
Yes.
Who likes big, you know what I mean? Anyone who you think would be a great connection for me, or, you know, we'd have a good time talking, tea, coffee. And that's what a blind friendship date looks like. Right? So, Tracy, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When was the last time you were on a blind friendship date yourself?
Oh my gosh, never. No, because I feel like I have the opposite problem. I'm trying to pare down my friendship group so that I can spend more quality time with the people I want to be spending time with. So when I get to a point that I need a blind friendship date, I'm going to call you.
Oh, I love
I'll be like, Karen, who do you think wears like big earrings and dessert? And like, hook me up with them, you know? But no, I haven't done that. Have you done it?
I have. Well, here's the thing. My other home is in Los Angeles, so in California, so my second home. And when I initially went there, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Right.
So I have a handful of people, and essentially what I said to them was, who do you think would be a good fit to kind of chill with, or who has my vibe and that type of thing? And I got a lot of introductions, and now I have a little friend circle over there in LA.
Good for you.
So it works.
It does work, and I don't even doubt that it wouldn't work. Really quickly, because we're completely out of time, you say also maybe use apps and join groups that maybe you have similar causes that you're interested in.
Definitely. Find a cause, volunteer. There's that communal interest. Even something like meetup.com where you can meet people similar interests again. And I say don't wait. You have to be that person to get out there. You can create the meetup, and or when you're out in public, be open to having conversations with people. Hello, a genuine compliment. Talk about where you are, what you're doing. It's a two-way street.
Be a conversationalist. You're very good at that. Karen, thank you for that great